This is the CJ Silas Show. She's been talking sports for over half her life. You'll hear big-name guests and all the hot topics. Her roller derby sisters call her Dodge Her Blue. CJ's proud of her California roots and time in New York. Born and raised in L.A., college at USC and Syracuse University. She's not afraid to share her opinions with you. And, like it or not, she wants to be the change. Ladies and gentlemen, all ears and no mask required. Here she is, CJ Silas.
Hey, welcome in live and direct to the ESPN Radio 1280 AM and FM 101.7 studios of The Ticket in San Luis Obispo, California. We've got a local Major League Baseball player coming on the show. Yeah. It doesn't happen that often that a kid from the Central Coast gets on a Major League Baseball roster and does well, becomes an all-star, and really just plays. It's awesome. I was going to say stunning, but that's really not a good descriptor for baseball, is it? Stunning's more, not a good choice of words. Why would I even say that I'm going to say it? Well, it just almost came out, and it was a wrong adjective. Jeff McNeil from the New York Mets joining the CJ Silas Show in a little bit. The Mets just had a West Coast swing through San Francisco and Los Angeles. Last Thursday, I went down to the Dodger game to see my favorite team, the Dodgers, but also to go down and cheer for Jeff McNeil. It was very, very fun. He's been in studio in the past, and hopefully when this pandemic craziness finally gets under control, Jeff and his wife Tatiana will come back in the studio because we had a great time. Maybe they'll bring their new baby, Willow. Well, she's not really new. I think they adopted her a little over a year ago. Yeah, and they named her after Willow Street in Napomo. And if you don't listen to the show from the Central Coast, you have no idea what I'm talking about, but it's just nostalgic and super cute and romantic that they named their dog after the street that they met or they were married on. It's very cool. We've got a lot going on today. NFL quarterback battles are finally calming down. And let's see, New Orleans is the one where we're not sure yet who's going to start. And we've got one more week of the preseason. The official opening to the NFL season is Thursday, September 9th. College football starts. College football is back with a full schedule. And on the Central Coast, Cal Poly has a full schedule back, and the Allen Hancock College Bulldogs, they have a tri-scrimmage tomorrow down at El Camino, starting their season Labor Day weekend on September 4th, hosting Santa Barbara. Next week, the head coach of the Bulldogs, Seth Damron, will be on the show just to talk a little bit about what life was like. He was hired. He'd been on the coaching staff. He was hired for 4 years as an assistant. He was promoted to the head coach, and then the pandemic hit, so his first year he didn't get to coach. So I'm still going to say that this is his first year, even though he's been with the team for 5 or more. He will be on the CJ Silas Show next week. The Paralympics began in Tokyo, Japan yesterday. And remember, Tokyo is still in a state of emergency until the middle of September. And I think the Paralympics end the first week of September. Yesterday, already one athlete tested positive in the Paralympic Village. There are 162 delegations in Tokyo and 4,403 athletes partaking in the Paralympics. Opening ceremonies already happened. It's kind of crazy to me how quiet the COVID situation was in Tokyo during the Olympics. We didn't really hear that much about who was testing positive. We didn't hear that much about the village having problems. I'm curious. Gosh, I'm not a conspiracy theorist at all. I mean, at all. Never. I listen, I'm like, oh, that's an interesting point. But I don't think I ever sit into a conspiracy and resonate with it and believe it and feel like it could be true. And I don't know if this is a conspiracy, but I have a feeling inside, and I'm a member of the sports media, and I went to 2 incredible universities to study communications in USC and Syracuse University. I'm proud of my education. I'm proud that I was taught to be objective. I'm proud that I was taught to show both sides. I don't do it as much anymore because I'm a talk show host, which is more opinionated than being a beat writer or reporter who covers games. But part of me thinks that it's shifted a little bit. And I also have this idea, and I don't know where it came from. It actually came to me in a dream with Shaquille O'Neal. It really did. Now that I brought it up, I'm going to have to tell you about the dream I had with Shaquille O'Neal. But first to my point about the Olympics and the Paralympics. How much information is the media getting out to us? If the information coming from Tokyo during the Olympics and now the Paralympics is being stifled, who's under control in that situation? As a journalist, I think I would push back on that. Knowing, though, that it could put my job in jeopardy, and right now we're all kind of thankful to have our jobs. Are journalists being told what they can and cannot report? Are there stories from Tokyo during the Olympics and the Paralympics being edited and things taken out? I was happy to have the Olympics. I was thrilled to know that we were going to have Olympic Games and that all these young people, athletes from all over the world who had waited a whole year, got to finally participate in the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo in 2021. I love everything about the Olympics. I wasn't sure I was comfortable with it. I've said that before on this show. I wasn't sure I thought it was a good idea because of the state of emergency in the city of Tokyo, surrounding areas, and the country of Japan. I was skeptical, and I've said it on the show, because of some of the doctors and the experts and the surveys out of Japan that people really didn't want it to happen. And I was super skeptical when I realized and learned that the country that hosts the Olympics does not have a choice once they sign the contract on whether they can postpone or cancel the games. Only the IOC can make that decision. And there's a lot of money for the IOC involved in the Olympics. Remember, it's the Olympics. That's all they have. And of course, Tokyo would have lost a lot of money. They spent a lot of money to get everything ready for the Olympics. But they didn't have a choice. They did not have a choice with the Olympics, and I'm pretty sure they don't have a choice with the Paralympics. And if it's dangerous and it's not safe and the COVID numbers are going up, the country itself has no choice to postpone or cancel the games. And from that point, it made me think, people need to make money, at least break even, because remember, there was nobody in the stands, and there's nobody in the stands for the Paralympics. There might be school children allowed to go during this event, but I don't know. Just a few places that I read, but I don't know if it's true, and I don't know if it's happening. It may still be just in the idea pile. It just makes me a little bit curious, a little bit weary, and a little bit skeptical that we haven't heard about it. And I know it's not good publicity. I know that it doesn't look good for those that push through these two events, even though I really wanted the events. But I'm just curious, and I will probably never get the information. I probably won't do a lot of investigating because I just don't have the time or energy. But I am curious if we are not getting all the information. And I hate to question my media brothers and sisters, but sometimes if you're the writer or you're the talent or you're the host or you're the producer, there are a lot of people above you in management that make money, that their career depends on it, and they have bosses. And if you go all the way to the tippy top, it's really where the money is. Would it have hurt the Olympics even more than they were already hurt by not having fans? Would it have hurt the Olympics? Will it hurt the Paralympics if we find out what's really going on in that Olympic Village and the surrounding areas with the COVID numbers? I am not one to think people aren't telling the truth. I am always looking at the glass half full. I always am the optimistic, almost naive at times, hopeful, idealist. But this one makes me a little curious. We never heard much about it. And I don't know if the media members for the Olympics were even looking for that information, or maybe they weren't allowed, or maybe they were squashed before they even got to the information because the medical community, the athletic training community, the support staff had already been told, don't give out this information. I don't know. And why did I think of that? Because the one positive test yesterday at Paralympic Village in Tokyo. I still think it's an amazing event. In fact, Tawny Davis our Syracuse grad student who was here producing the show for 6 weeks, she left over the weekend, and she's heading to North Carolina, and she's helping in the production of the Paralympic athletes' families that can't go to Tokyo, when they have their event and then they go back to somebody's house or a barbecue or some church or wherever they go and they watch back in the States, hometowns, where they watch their athletes compete, succeed, do great, get medals, whatever. She's helping with that, so it's kind of cool. Something else going on. Oh, the Shaquille dream. I got to get to that before I talk about the Little League World Series. So last night, I had a dream that, was it last night? It doesn't matter when it was. I had a dream about Shaquille O'Neal, and I think it's because he recently did a bit on the Jimmy Fallon show with, who was it? One of the singers. Anyway, he did a bit. It was a song, and lots of different people were doing little bits in the song, and Shaq was hilarious. And I had a dream about Shaq going to Tokyo and doing investigative reporting about the truth behind the Olympics. And he was trying to go, and he was doing it in, he was in disguises. But the problem with disguises for Shaquille O'Neal, let's remember how tall he is. Let's remember how tall he is. Let's remember how everyone in the entire world knows who Shaquille O'Neal is. But he went in, and he would wear, Santa Claus costumes, and I think he wore a gypsy costume once. He wore a suit. Remember, this is going on in my crazy little brain, my little teeny tiny itsy bitsy little brain during a dream, and this is all I can remember. I remember all of it. But what I was doing is he was reporting back to me, and I was in a TV studio somewhere in, I don't know, the mountains somewhere. I think that's why my brain is making me think that there's sneaky information that we didn't get from the Olympics or the Paralympics. It's because Shaq and I were in cahoots. And he went to Japan. And he dressed up in disguises to find out information behind the scenes. And I don't even know. In my dream, it wasn't about COVID. I don't know what it was about. I'm pretty sure Shaq was only... I hope that there's no dream analyst listening to the show right now, because I must sound crazy. In fact, even if if it's not a dream analyst, if some guy is driving down the road and just happened to have 1280 on early before the Dodger game, and he's listening, he's like, what? Shaquille O'Neal in disguises in Japan? Yeah. I didn't do any hallucinogenics last night. I didn't drink any alcohol last night. I didn't have any sugar last night. So really, it's just my crazy little brain. All right, let's move on from my Shaquille O'Neal dream. Oh, tonight we're giving away our August Kobe poster. Oh, I've got the names. And in fact, I need to find out from some of my interns during the break how many more names to add to the hopper. And remember what the definition of a hopper is, all of you young people. It's a hat where you put these tiny little pieces of paper in the hat, and then you pick one and you get a winner. Every month on the CJ Silas Show, the last week of the month, we're giving away prizes until we run out, because we just felt like it. CJ Silas, give, never take, always give on the CJ Silas Show. It's just been a long year and a half. Usually I'm giving away tickets to the Shakespeare Festival or the Avila concerts at the golf resort, or I'm giving away Dodger tickets, or I'm giving away Raider tickets. I'm giving away Rams tickets. I can't do any of that. I couldn't do it last year because there were no events. And I can't do it this year because it doesn't feel right to ask people for free stuff when they're just trying to get back on their feet after a horrible 2020. So I dug down super duper 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 deep into the CJ Silas Show merchandising budget. And we bought some posters. We bought a Laker championship poster, which I think I have one more of those. Kobe posters, which it was just his birthday. And then I also have, we're not going to get to it yet, we're going to wait till October when the World Series is going on. I have a Corey Seager World Series bobblehead. And I have a Cody Bellinger MVP bobblehead from 2019. What I'm saying is you need to get your name in the hopper. And all you have to do is go to our contest Instagram posts, like it, share it, tag somebody, Bueller. Just go to one of the contest posts and see what everybody else is doing. And then your name goes into the hopper. And if you don't win, it continues on. You only have to put your name in once. The contest is going to continue to go, and the hopper is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm pretty sure we have enough posters and prizes till at least the first of the year. And then maybe next year we'll have that ability to give back and get some more concert tickets and sporting events tickets. Jeff McNeil from the New York Mets joining the CJ Silas Show in just a few minutes. The Little League World Series is going on right now, thank goodness. Did you know there have only been 20 females in the World Series and only one girl this year? Her name is Ella Brunning. She's on the team from Abilene, Texas. She hits, she pitches, and she steals bases. They won a game against Washington. I forgot they lost a game, but in the Washington win, she stole a base. She had 2 hits, a double, 2 RBI. She got the first run. She scored the first run of the game. And she's only the 3rd girl in World Series history with a multi-hit game. We're coming for you, boys. We're finally allowed, and here we come. She actually started shagging balls when she was only 7 years old for her brother's team. I think one of her brothers is on the team. Her dad's one of the coaches. Her other brother used to play. She also plays softball. I think she's a pitcher. It's pretty darn cool. It's nice. It's super nice to have the Little League World Series back. Whew. I think they were playing New Jersey. And I think they were playing today. So let's see if her team... It was an elimination game, too. So I'm not sure that they're still alive. But still cool to see Ella Brunning killing it in the Little League World Series. It's still kind of bummer that there's only one. It's 2021. Come on. They can do it. Let them in. Welcome. When I was little, I had to fight my way to play Little League. Fight. And for my first season, I sat on the bench in the entire game, the entire season, and I played another year. It was like 19, I'm not going to age myself. Let me just say it was before 1980 and after 1970. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. Westwood Little League. Me and Laura Doney. I don't know why I can't forget her name. I haven't seen her since then. I've forgotten so many things in my life since the 1970s. But Laura Doney and I broke into Westwood Little League together. Just saying. And that's why I'm rooting for Ella Brunning. Coming up, Jeff McNeil from the New York Mets. We also have Rafael Esparza from mybookie.ag with some fun NFL prop bets. You still have time. You have like 25 minutes to get your name in. Just go to Instagram, the CJ Silas Show, and go to one of the CJ Silas Show contest posts. I'm pretty sure it was recent because my interns are so good at what they do. Go to the contest post and just get your name in there as quick as you can, and we will add it in. I think the last one was when we had our winner come in. It was 805 Raider fan. He won an autographed Kobe poster. You tag one or more people you know in the comment section of the post and repost the story, and of course, like the post. If you miss the show on Wednesdays at 5 o'clock or 8 o'clock Eastern, you can always find it anywhere you listen to your podcasts. Apple Podcasts, search for the CJ Silas Show, subscribe, iTunes, the TuneIn app, Spotify, and we are inches, centimeters, millimeters away from being on Pandora, which is going to be super duper cool. Easy way to get to all those places is, or not, just go to the cjsilasshow.com and then you can listen to the podcast directly from there. Or follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Right after the show, the podcast goes right up. I do want to thank my partners, dermatologist Dr. Brad Kurgis, the Slow Wellness Center, dentist Dr. Daniel Lapidus and Larry Ackerman, the Avila Bay Athletic Club and Spa, Michael Moore Sports Recovery, where, by the way, my back was not working at all yesterday. From my shoulders, my neck, I couldn't turn my head, I couldn't lift my arms. I don't know if it was a workout, whatever it was, but Michael Moore took great care of me, and I got to sit in his infrared sauna. Oh my gosh, for 20 minutes, I feel so much better. Joy Shell Beach and California Fresh Market, where I shop in Pismo Beach on 5 Cities Drive, in San Luis Obispo on Foothill Boulevard, and it's El Rancho Market in Santa Ynez. Some of the best. I think the olive bar is back. The soup bar. If you don't find what you need at California Fresh Markets, they will find it for you. One of my favorite items is the truffle roasted almonds that you find near the deli. So they're Marconas. Amazing. It's California Fresh Markets. Coming up, Jeff McNeil from the New York Mets. You are listening live to the CJ Silas Show on ESPN Radio 1280 AM and FM 101.7, The Ticket.
Welcome back to the CJ Silas Show. From her perch atop Madonna Mountain, let's hear it for CJ Silas.
Welcome back to the CJ Silas Show. It's always nice to watch someone that you've kind of watched grow up succeed and follow their dream and keep it going and moving forward. And this is one of those people joining the show from the New York Mets. Local boy gone good. He's a man now, just so you know. He is from the Mets. Jeff McNeil on the CJ Silas Show. Welcome back, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I don't think I've talked to you since the pandemic, and you made it through the difference between the 2020 season and now the 2021. Anything stand out?
Fans back in the ballpark. The 2020 season was long years, tough, playing in empty ballparks and a bunch of restrictions was not fun, extremely tough. So it's nice to have somewhat of a normal season here. Fans back in the ballpark, and restrictions are a little lighter this year, so it's been more of a normal year.
I'm watching not just Major League Baseball. The NFL's dealing with it. The NBA dealt with it for a little while as well. The protocol with COVID, it seems to me like the professional athletes in most sports are kind of keeping it to themselves. What they do, the decisions they make. How do you navigate that with your friends and your teammates in the clubhouse?
It's tough. I mean, like the restrictions. I know if you're vaccinated, they let you do it a lot more, and don't need to be tested or anything. There's a positive test. You're out for at least 10 days, and if you're close to somebody, it's 7 days. So it's just tough. You got to be smart about what you do. You got to be smart about where you go, and do your best not to bring that virus into the clubhouse.
You can find him at Jeff McNeil 805, his wife Tatiana, dog Willow, and kitty cat Mac, all friends of the CJ Silas Show. If we look at what's going on in the world, and I try to bubble myself personally because I have a radio show to do. I'm an announcer for Cal Poly and Hancock College locally, football and baseball. I've got a dog. I have a life. But then kind of re-navigating getting back out into the world. Your wife obviously wants to come and see you. Your family wants to come and see you. And I noticed that you were in California, obviously. I got to come down and see you at Dodger Stadium, by the way. And I saw that you were in San Francisco and L.A. Did you at least get to have a lot of people around you for those two series?
Yeah, I had a good number of people, show up to, both series. So, I had some friends and family come up, and they got to watch me for, a week straight, some of them. It's always nice being back in California. I didn't get to go in 2019. I didn't get to go to L.A. Nice to, play in San Francisco and L.A., once again in front of family.
You're in the majors. You started, born in Santa Barbara, ended up in Napomo, played high school baseball for a year. You were an all-around athlete, and then you've probably gathered a lot of friends and family in your life before you got to the majors. Now you're in the majors. You've been with the Mets for quite a while now. I mean, almost 10 years. 2013 is when you were drafted. How many people ask you for tickets now when you're in the Bay Area or in Southern California?
It wasn't too bad. A good number of family and close friends who I had them out to the ballpark. So it's not too bad. I think it was a little worse when I first got called up. Everyone was super excited to go see me in LA and San Francisco. But a lot of the friends have seen me play. Some of them made the trip. Some watch on TV, but it's always nice having them in the ballpark.
I bought tickets to go to the game last week because it's really hard for me to get down off the Central Coast just because of sports and everything. So really the only time I can go is Thursday nights. It just works out for my schedule. And coincidentally, the Mets were in town for a Thursday night. So I'm like, oh my gosh, Jeff's going to be playing. So I bought my tickets. I had all this planned. I think I bought the tickets right in June when the stadium started selling full capacity. And then I went to a game in July. I went to see the hated Orange and Black, and there was only maybe like 20,000 people in the stands. Fast forward to last week when I came down to see you specifically, and of course my favorite LA Dodgers, the stands were loaded. I mean, I would say it was probably 3/4 of capacity or more. Do you notice, because you had no fans last year, how does it affect you when you see half a stadium full or a full stadium, or does it not?
Doesn't bother me, too much. I was lucky enough to play, full crowds in, 18 and 19. So, I'm pretty used to it, playing in front of nobody. That took, more getting used to. But, it's nice seeing 30,000 people back in the ballpark. It's nice, hearing, the crowd get loud. Home games out in New York are, incredible. And, just the atmosphere, at both San Francisco and LA was rocking. They're good teams right now. So, the fans are showing up. It's a lot of fun playing in front of, that many people. I know it takes some getting used to, for the guys who, debuted last year, who were rookies last year, playing in front of no fans, it's probably, nice for them, not a lot of pressure. But this year, it's a whole lot different, with, all the fans.
He led the majors with his batting average of .348 when he was selected to the 2019 All-Star team. Also, the first Met since David Wright to have a .300 batting average or more in 3 straight seasons. The fastest player in Mets history to 200 hits, and we are lucky to have him on the CJ Silas Show, Jeff McNeil. I wanted to introduce you as a second baseman, and then as a third baseman, and then as a left fielder. And I was thinking about you this morning. And for the Dodgers, they've got this kid, he's not even a kid, he's a kid to me, Chris Taylor, who's just so flexible and willing to do whatever. Trey Turner, also, who just became an LA Dodger. How hard is it to move around from infield to outfield to outfield to infield? Because you've been doing it a long time.
It's definitely, something you got to get used to. I've been doing it, since college. So, I'm pretty used to it by now. It doesn't affect me. I got my first start out in left field last night. Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot for me to, get acclimated out there. See a few fly balls here and in batting practice, just to, see the ball off the bat. And, whenever I play third, just a few ground balls at third. And, I'm feeling pretty good. Something I've done my whole career, something, I'm probably going to continue to do, throughout my career. And, I enjoy it. It's not a bad role to have.
Whatever keeps you in the majors, right? I mean, really,
yeah.
You're in the majors. I just think when you're at third base, as a kid, when we're learning sports, and I played everything as well, your main thing to do is to be ready. What am I going to do when the ball gets to me? But when you're at third base, and then the next day you might be at second base, or then another day you might be in left field, as smart as we can be, you just really have to stay present. Obviously, you're a pro, so you do that. But to remember, okay, wait, who's the cutoff? I'm at second today, or I'm at third. And even the best in the business, you got to get confused once in a while and go, oh my gosh, I'm so lucky I figured that out. Do you have those moments where you feel like that?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. It's just something you need to stay in the moment and, just kind of imagine a ball being hit, where it's going to be hit, and, where I'm going to go with it. I mean, that's, a lot of the reps needed to, be good at a position, which it's tough when I'm not playing, left field every day. My first start out there yesterday. So, have to kind of play situations in my head and, figure out what to do with the ball if it fits me.
You got to be flexible, too, I think, Jeff, because when Robinson Cano was signed with the Mets, you had to shift. When Javi Baez recently signed with the Mets, which, by the way, what an awesome immediate impact this guy has. Then Francisco Lindor goes on the IL, so you played shortstop and then a little second base. What about with the guys when you're talking about this? Say a guy comes back and you covered him for a game or two, a week or two. Do you have dialogue with these guys when you've filled in at their position when they were out, or is that just, it's not talked about?
We would talk a little bit. We know, guys are coming back. We knew, Baez was coming back, and along with Lindor, and, they were going to play up the middle. I just need to be prepared to, take on whatever role they gave me. It gets talked about a little bit, but, at the same time, we're all professionals, and, we go all about our business, and just, take care of the day-to-day.
Drafted by the Mets in the 12th round in 2013, went to Long Beach State and Napomo High School. Jeff McNeil at Jeff McNeil 805. He's joining the CJ Silas Show. I didn't realize until I watched this MLB Network video recently. I'm just going to see some fun stuff that Jeff did before I have him on the show on Wednesday. And I watched a video of you and Pete Alonso doing kind of like this question and answer about each other. And I didn't realize that you've had the same walk-up song for a long time in your life. How did you choose Def Leppard as your walk-up song, and why do you keep it?
I got it from, the movie, Balls of Fury. I think it was Randy Daytona's walkout song. I enjoyed it on that. Thought it was cool, and, I love the song as well. So, it sounds great in the ballpark, and, I've had it since, I think, 2013, 14, when I first signed, and it's, been working. I enjoy it, and, I think the fans do too as well, so, I'm going to keep it.
How do you and Pete spend your time off? I mean, you guys are buddies in the clubhouse, buddies in the locker room, buddies on the field. You're real good friends when you play for the Mets. How much time do you spend together away from ball games?
If we're on the road and, we don't have any wives or anybody in town, we'll go grab some dinner and, hang out then, and haven't really got to see him in the off season. He's out in Tampa. Didn't get to see him there, but I think I'm going to his wedding in the off season. I'll get to see him then. But we're great friends. Love the guy, and it's a lot of fun to play with him.
Do you ever play golf with him?
I have not. He's not much of a golfer. He's he loves to get out. He loves to get out on the water and fish. So
yeah.
Maybe I should go out there with him, and maybe who knows? Maybe he'll join me on the golf course.
I'm guessing a lot of your teammates and buddies are afraid to play golf with you because most people know that golf was your main sport for a long time in your life. Does anybody on the team ever challenge you to play golf knowing how good you are?
Not necessarily challenged. They like to go play golf. We get a group out, during off days. A lot of them aren't playing me for money. If they do, they are begging for a bunch of strokes. So, it's a lot of fun. Off days we get out. We get a group or two and enjoy the time off. And it's just a good getaway from the ballpark.
From the New York Mets, Jeff McNeil joining the CJ Silas Show. Some people don't know this about you. In fact, I was sitting in the stands on Thursday night watching you at Dodger Stadium, and I was talking to the people around me, just a couple of people, about your knobless bat that you found about 5 years ago. And what? He played what? I don't get it. No, the bottom, at the bottom of the bat, the knob that your hand touches. What? I've never... It's really an interesting thing about you. How much do you talk about that? Do you get a lot of questions?
I got a lot of questions, when I first got called up, and 18 and 19. I think a lot of people know, but it's a bat I've used since I think 2014 or 15, and just really like how it felt, and been using it ever since. It's it's just basically put in my hands by one of my coaches, and one of my teammates was using it as well. Tried it out, and I think I hit a homer within the first couple of days. So it was something that felt really good, and continue to use it, throughout the minor leagues and the big leagues.
Before I let you go, because I know it's a game day, your dog, Willow, there was an adoption event at the stadium once. The story is, I've seen the videos of it, that you were at this adoption event on the field, and you FaceTimed the dog with Tatiana, and you said, we got to have this dog. And I don't know if you realize, that dog is like all over social media and such a big deal. And then I see that it really has encouraged other teams to have these adoption events on the field. What is life like now with Willow as an adult dog?
Oh, it's fantastic. We love her, and it's great to have her around. Great to go home to after the game. But we ended up adopting her at Citi Field, FaceTime my wife, like, can we get this puppy? And, the media find out and ended up hitting a home run that night. So, we ended up getting the dog, and, she's, been fantastic and, huge part of our lives. And, we're still involved with, North Shore Animal League, where we adopted her, and, trying to do what we can to, help out over there and, get more, dogs and cats, adopted.
Did you name her after the restaurant in Napomo, or how did the name come about?
We named her after the Willow Street there. We got married at Edwards Barn right there. So,
okay.
On Willow, it's real close to home. That main road, it ends up being a perfect name for her.
We can pretend that the new on-ramp and off-ramp in Nipomo is named after your dog, because it's kind of came around the same time that you adopted Willow. We'll just create that story here on the Central Coast, and we'll just see if it grows. Maybe I can get it on social media. Hey, Jeff, thank you. You're always so wonderful when I send you text. You're present. You make time for the CJ Silas Show. The Central Coast loves you, enjoys watching you, wishes the best in your career, and maybe when this whole pandemic thing is finally under control, you and Tatiana can come back to the studio someday.
Yep, we'd love to get back there, and look forward to seeing you.
Thanks so much. Be safe, and good luck, Jeff.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Jeff McNeil from the New York Mets on the CJ Silas Show. Coming up next, the Cal Poly Sports Update on ESPN Radio 1280 AM and FM 101.7, The Ticket.
Now, back to the CJ Silas Show on ESPN Radio 1280, The Ticket.
You can find him at mybookie.ag. You can bet anytime, anywhere, anything. He is the head odds maker, Rafael Esparza, joining the CJ Silas Show. What's been keeping you busy the last few days?
Well, that little pigskin finally kicked off, so we have week 0 of college football on Saturday. So I think that just really amps up the college football and NFL betting. Week 3 of preseason, the last preseason of football that kicks off this weekend. So it's just pretty much all football. And we'll throw in some Little League World Series action as well at you.
Let me ask you this about 2021 compared to 2020 for college football, because the season started late for some programs, started on time, it was shortened, less games, more games. How much activity are you getting on Nebraska, Illinois this week, or Connecticut, Fresno State, or even UCLA and Hawaii?
We're starting to get some action in here. I think our futures in college football, and even the pro, especially total season wins, has not gotten that much, because now that the new rules that they're forfeits, they're not going to try to remake games up if your team can't go in college and pro. Sorry, you have a forfeit yet. That's a loss. So I think that hurts betting on total season wins. But for college football, the 4 games that are going on this week, a lot of money came in on Illinois at +9 when it first opened up, and now Nebraska 7-point favorites. Money's coming on UCLA. They opened up at 14-point favorites over the summer. They're 17.5, even though I think they might be overlooking the Hawaii Rainbows, because they still have to play LSU right after this game against Hawaii. And then Fresno State, Connecticut, that'd be an outstanding college basketball game, but since they're playing that game football, Fresno State 27.5-point favorites. I'm sorry, Fresno State Bulldog fans, but there's no way you're 27.5-point favorites to anybody since what we saw last year, what you guys did.
In a regular year, pre-COVID, how much more money is spent on the NFL than college football, or is it equal?
Oh, no, it's not even close. I mean, even though there's more football on Saturdays than there is on Sundays, but creme of the creme is NFL Sunday. And we will also take bigger action on the NFL than we've done on college football. We're not going to take $1 million bet on Connecticut Fresno State, but we won't blink an eye on $1 million bet on an NFL, let's say the Thursday night game or a Sunday night game. We won't even blink an eye. But Connecticut Fresno State, probably not going to take $1 million action on that game.
Wait a second. One bet, that's $1 million.
Oh, that's easy. That comes in all the time, $1 million action.
$1 million on one game?
$1 million, yes.
How often does that happen?
It happens much as you think. I mean, 6 figures, let's say 550, 330,000, those happen a lot. But $1 million, there's times where there's multiple $1 million bets coming in.
Gee, I would never have guessed that. You always learn when you speak with Rafael Esparza from mybookie.ag. Double first deposits, a bonus for your welcome, live odds, and mobile betting. He is head odds maker Rafael Esparza from mybookie.ag. Let's do some NFL then. I was looking at the quarterback battles, hoping to talk to you about some of those, but those have all been settled. So let's get right to Super Bowl winner. I was checking it out. I went to one of your emails and then at MyBookie. I cannot believe how bad it is if you want to see the Texans win the Super Bowl. What's that all about?
probably have a better chance of walking outside and getting struck by lightning, not once, not twice, but 3 times in California than the Houston Texans winning the Super Bowl. So, yeah, I would not, if you're a Houston Texan fans, no disrespect to you. I love the Houston area. I have family members that live in Houston, but you might want to maybe become a Cowboy fan or maybe jump a bandwagon, become Kansas City, or even a Rams fan. But, yeah, very long season for the Texans, I think, this year.
Who are the best bets for Super Bowl wins this year?
Kansas City's plus 450, but come on, it's Tampa Tom. Can you go back-to-back and win the Super Bowl at Tampa? They're plus 550, but a lot of action on your Rams. They're 13-1. A lot of action on the 49ers at 12-1. A lot of action now that Aaron Rodgers is back in Green Bay with his flip-flops and man bun. They're 10-1. So it should be very interesting, but don't sleep on the New England Patriots. I've been telling people they're my Super Bowl winner this year. Bill Belichick and mac and cheese win the Super Bowl this year. Give me 20-1 in New England.
What? You're
yeah.
Hey, are you allowed to lay money down in your job?
No. It's hard for me to lay a good action down because everyone knows what I do. Everyone knows I'm a head odds maker at my bookie, so most sports books around the U.S. and world know who I am. So I would feel bad if I won something big off of someone that I knew and stuff like that. So it's probably frowned upon.
You're such a nice guy, Ralph. Such a nice guy.
I try, but I'll play the horses. I lose all my money on playing the horses. So sportsbooks still love me because I couldn't hit a brown horse if there was 5 brown horses running in one race.
Yeah, well, don't get me started on what I feel about horse racing. What about total NFL regular season wins? What are the odds on best? Is there a 17-0 out there or a 16-1 out there? Oh, that was so weird to say 17.
It is still weird. It was weird for me to post total season wins to add either a half a win or a full win on these teams, like the Baltimore Ravens, who are 10.5 total season wins over under. So that one was pretty hard. No one's going to go 17-0, but most of the action came in this year on Green Bay Packers to over in total season wins, again because of Aaron Rodgers coming back and playing. And a lot of money came in on the New Orleans Saints under their total season wins because they've had a really, really bad summer with Drew Brees retiring, Michael Thomas out. They're losing kickers and tight ends. Their total season win is 9, and it opened up at 9.5. So we might have to push that down to 8.5 probably before week 1 because the money keeps on flooding in on the Saints' total season wins going under 9 wins.
Give me one of your favorite special NFL prop bets right now.
There's a lot of good ones out there. I would think probably one of my best ones, I would have to say, let me see if I can think of a really good one that I mustered up. I would have to say we have a stage of elimination where you can bet your team and how they're going to be eliminated through the season. I'm going to take the Carolina Panthers to make the playoffs plus 225. Everyone thinks the Tampa Tom are going to win a division, but don't sleep on the Carolina Panthers. I think they make the playoffs. They make a wild card. So I think the Carolina players, yes, on to make the playoffs.
All right, you are the best. You can find them at mybookie.ag. Mobile betting, live odds, bet anytime, anywhere, anything. Head odds maker, Rafael Esparza, a friend of the CJ Silas Show. Thank you. Be safe out there. Be careful, and don't get caught betting on the NFL.
Take it easy. Have a fantastic week. Stay safe, CJ.
Always nice to have Rafael on the show. He's got so much cool, good stuff to say and share. He's got a good personality, too. I don't think we would have him on the show this often if he wasn't super funny. The Cal Poly Sports Update is brought to you by dentist Dr. Daniel Lapidus and Larry Ackerman. The best dentists. I love them. They accept almost all payment plans. They're open at 8 a.m., so they make it easy, and they're conveniently located in the Bishop Medical Center. Give them a call, 805-543-7993. Beach volleyball, AV, Professional League. The first event happened in Atlanta, and former Mustang, Chrissy Jones, got to the semis with her partner, Xana Munoz from UCLA, and then they're playing up against Manhattan Beach. Cal Poly Volleyball was picked to finish second in the preseason poll. They got underway with a scrimmage last weekend. The season opens this weekend at a tournament at Arizona State. Football, their first week of camp ended last week. They're in the middle of their second week, 118 players. They had a 4-month off-season strength program that's been a big help for the team. There's a 6-man quarterback battle going on with the Mustangs. 25 fall camp practices. They open it up at San Diego next Saturday, September 4th. And Hancock College, it's the largest roster since I've been doing play-by-play, and I think it's the largest roster in almost 20 years. The Blue-Gold scrimmage happened last weekend. That was kind of fun to watch. The tri-scrimmage happens tomorrow night at El Camino. The home opener is next Saturday against Santa Barbara at 2 o'clock. You can watch the games because I don't think there's fans yet due to COVID restrictions in Santa Barbara County. You can watch all of Allen Hancock College football games at athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Only 36 local players on the roster the last time I looked for the Bulldogs. 110 total players, and I guess more are coming and going. Cuesta College baseball infielder Thomas Green signed with the Oakland University. Catcher AJ Esperanza signed with San Jose State. And left-hander Jared Villalobos signs with Cal Baptist, as well as cross country starting this weekend. Oh my gosh! Local sports coming back. Not a lot of fans, but at least local sports are coming back, which is super cool. Black History Month on the CJ Silas Show. We are continuing to celebrate black and brown people in sports and in the civil rights movement. Kobe Bryant, born on August 23rd, 1978, spent his entire 20-year career with the LA Lakers, regarded as one of the greatest players of all time. He won 5 NBA championships, an 18-time All-Star, a 15-time member of the All-NBA team, a 12-time member of the All-Defensive team. Kobe Bryant was the 2008 NBA Most Valuable Player, and he's a 2-time NBA Finals MVP. On January 22nd, 2006, he scored a career-high 81 points, the second most points scored in a single game in league history behind Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game in 1962. The all-time leading scorer in Lakers history, Bryant was the first guard in NBA history to play 20 seasons. At the 2008 and 2012 Summer Olympics, he won gold medals as a member of the U.S. national team. In 2018, he won the Academy Award for Best Animated Short Film for the film Dear Basketball. He was also the official ambassador for After School All-Stars, an American nonprofit organization that provides comprehensive after-school programs to children in 13 U.S. cities. Bryant and his wife Vanessa were founding donors of the National Museum of African American History and Culture. Kobe Bryant died, along with his daughter Gianna and 7 others, in a helicopter crash in Calabasas, California. Wyomia Tyus was born August 29, 1945, the first person to retain the Olympic title in the 100 meters. A founding member of the Women's Sports Foundation, she participated in the 1964 Summer Olympics at just 19 years old. She equaled Wilma Rudolph's world record. At the same Olympics, she also won a silver medal with the 4x100 relay team. In 1968, she returned to the Olympics to defend her title in the 100 meters. In the final, she set a new world record of 11.08 seconds to become the first person, male or female, to retain the Olympic 100 meters title. In 1985, she was inducted into the U.S. Olympics Hall of Fame. Wyomia Tyus. Deion Sanders, born August 9th, 1967, nicknamed Primetime, had an illustrious career both in the NFL and Major League Baseball. In fact, Deion Sanders was a member of the New York Yankees in the minor league team when I was the Albany Colony Yankees stadium announcer. That was super fun. Deion Sanders won 2 Super Bowl titles, made 1 World Series appearance in 1992, making him the only athlete to play in both a Super Bowl and a World Series. He played in the National Football League for 14 years as a member of the Falcons, Niners, Cowboys, Washington football team, Baltimore Ravens. Deion Sanders was also a baseball outfielder for 9 seasons in Major League Baseball. He played for the Yankees, the Braves, the Reds, and the Giants. During his career, he was named to 8 Pro Bowls in the NFL, received first-team All-Pro honors 6 times, and made consecutive Super Bowl appearances in Super Bowl 29 with the 49ers and Super Bowl, 29? That doesn't seem right. And in Super Bowl 30 with the Cowboys, winning both. I'm not really good with my Roman numerals. And then I'm aging myself while I'm trying to read about Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders was inducted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame and the College Football Hall of Fame, both in 2011. Black History on the CJ Silas Show. We will continue bringing you some of the greatest and best stories of black and brown people in the world of sports on the CJ Silas Show. We started it when George Floyd was murdered in May of 2020 by offering our platform to brown and black people for months and months and months. And then we shifted it to celebrating black and brown people in sports, in the world of civil rights activism, and the fight for equal justice. We will continue doing all that on the CJ Silas Show. Pretty much maybe until the CJ Silas Show is retired, which will probably be when I'm dead. Next week on the show, college football is back on the Central Coast. Seth Amron for the Hancock Bulldogs will join me. I am going to turn off my mic now. I'm out.
Thanks for listening to the CJ Silas Show. Find her podcast on the CJSilasShow.com. Follow her on all social media platforms, including her YouTube channel. Make an appointment to listen every Wednesday on ESPN Radio 1280 AM and FM 101.7. CJ out.